Good morning, everybody, and a very warm welcome once again to the Empowering Morning Conversations. And today we move on to part three of the basics. Why do I call them the basics? Because if you remember the basics and you apply them and you want to apply them, then every morning when you come to the EMC, you will see how one part or the other of the basics is being covered in great detail. So in part three, we are moving on from a state where you're likely to be stuck in you made a choice, you committed yourself to that choice, and you got into action. You're determined that no matter what happens, you are not going to give up. Okay. And we looked at the elements which will help you to first of all recognize why you give up, and once you recognize that, it's easy for you to get out of that. Okay. But the next step is very, very important. See, we are creatures of habit, as you know very well. And for some strange reason, most people have a habit of looking at things, whatever is occurring, to, in a kind of negative manner. Not really, everything, small things tend to discourage us. Why? Because we are losing sight of the possibilities. We get so engaged in the struggle. Now, I'm talking about a situation when we get stuck. Okay. When there is an obstacle, that's the time the habit of the mind usually is to waste time in resisting and reacting. So all our attention, all our focus, all our energy goes into dealing only with that obstacle. Now, I'm not saying that obstacles have not to be dealt with. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that sometimes these little obstacles or big ones, they take up all our energy and attention, that we forget something very, very important. And that is, what is the possibility in this situation? Instead of giving up and getting discouraged, if I operate or develop a habit called possibility search attitude. So we are training our brain that in every situation, instead of getting stuck into no possibility thoughts, resisting thoughts, reacting thoughts, we are training our brain to look for possibilities. So one of the people whom I admire a lot, and she was responsible for me to become a coach. And she always said to me, if you want to develop a possibility seeking attitude, develop the habit of doing things differently. So now you will notice that because we are creatures of habits, we have a tendency to do things in the same way. Now, remember, whenever we face a difficulty or an obstacle, it is because our same way of doing and thinking is not working in that situation. I remember Albert Einstein said once that all the problems that we have today are a result of the thinking that we have today. So if you want a solution to these problems, we will have to use different type of thinking. And I call that as possibility thinking. There was another gentleman, Dr. Edward de Bono, who's called the father of modern creativity. He also said the same thing. Possibilities are always there. Look for possibilities. Now, do you know what is the difference between an ordinary person and an extraordinary successful person? Successful people, enterprising people, they always see possibilities where normal people are seeing blocks, obstacles, and difficulties. So a lot of stuff that we cover in the EMC is helping us to develop a possibility mindset. Now, a person with a possibility mindset, will he waste his time? Will he or she waste their time in blaming, complaining? In other words, resisting? Will they do that? So such people will have a mechanism to flip their attention back to the objective and say, hey, listen, that's what I want to accomplish. Now they'll press the pause button of their brain and say, hello, what is my ultimate objective? That is the time this person will say, okay, this is a difficulty. It looks like it is trying to stop me. Now, how can I make it possible to achieve my objective? I'll give you an example. All right. I was managing a team of people, and these were volunteers. All right. All of them very eminent people in their own field, very, very senior people, included 2 generals also. And they were all volunteering their services. Now, obviously, you cannot command them, you cannot demand things from them. Okay. And we were working with great speed, right? Things had to be done in a particular manner. Everybody had agreed to do it, and they were doing it. Now, one gentleman, due to some ego problem or the other, he got stuck on some situation. No, it has to be done this way only. Now, what is the first reaction you'll have? Get into an argument with that fellow, try to convince him, try to get him on board, would have wasted a lot of time, and other people's attention would have also got diverted from that. So I said to him, okay, look, whatever you want to do, you do it. All right. You do the things the way you want to do it. Everybody had a part of the whole to do. So you do your part the way you want to do it. So he said, okay. So what did I do? I did not waste my time in trying to convince him and get him on board or something like that. I just said, okay, you do what you want. We will do things the way that we are doing it. If you don't want to do it this way, you don't have to. So we put our attention back onto the objective, and the rest of the team started working on that. And very soon that gentleman realized that, listen, everybody's going one way, I'm going another way. And he quietly came and joined the herd, and he started doing the thing. Are you getting that? If I had allowed my attention, first I have to get this fellow, he has to agree. If he doesn't agree, nothing will happen. Then we would have been waiting for that. Or similarly, we have other problems. We'll be wasting, until this problem is not sorted out, we can't do anything. So it changes your perception of the problem itself. Sometimes when we look at the big picture, this one becomes not as significant as we were making it. So that's the first thing that possibility seekers do. Possibility seekers, so what I've been saying in many words is, possibility seekers do not waste time complaining, blaming the situation, blaming themselves, blaming others, which is a form of resistance. So they don't waste time in resistance. Okay? Immediately they will switch their brain and say, okay, what is the possibility I wish to create now? What else is possible? Another thing that possibility seekers are very, 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 very clear about is that I need to use my brain fully. What does that mean? Now, when we are in a state of resistance and reaction, it's like a danger situation. We are using only the reactive brain or the midbrain, that is brain number 1 and 2. Now this brain is the survival brain. Enterprise people know I have to use my brain number 3, that is the possibility brain. So the moment they notice some stress in their thinking, they know that brain number 1 and 2 is active. So what will they do? They will do mental exercises like meditation or other stress releasing exercises. You and I have learned techniques called disc creation. Yeah, many other techniques we have learned, which will calm the brain. Your frontal cortex, that is the most potent part of your brain, that will start working. So they develop a habit of doing that. They keep their brain calm, peaceful, joyous, playful. They do work like they would do a game. You will find that most of these possibility seekers, they really have fun doing what they're doing. They're enjoying the challenge of it. They're challenging the big goals that they've set up. They're not wasting time worrying, oh, will I score the goal or not? Oh, will I lose or not? They're not wasting time on that. Will people agree with me or not? The powerful energy gets generated, right? So use your brains fully, something else that we do. Those who are there in the EMC, we know that we do these brain exercises also. How many of you remember the brain exercises? We've been doing them every day. You know what the brain exercises do? They help you to use your brain fully. I've even found that when I'm stressed or I feel that stress is coming along, worry is coming along, I just start doing the brain exercises. It frees my attention, it frees my brain. One more thing that possibility seekers do, you know what that is? They know where to focus their attention. They know how to keep their attention in their control. They're very clear. ये मेरा ध्यान है, मैं decide करूंगा मैं ध्यान किधर लगाना है. You know, like you are the driver of your car, right? And you see two roads before you. Both roads will go to your destination. Will you choose the road where the traffic is more or where the traffic is less? Obviously, you will choose the road where the traffic is less. In the same way, enterprising people will choose to direct their focus or their attention on finding solutions rather than post-morteming the problems that they are facing. Now, one exercise that I wish to show you today, very, very simple exercise, right? One you know already, that's called the power of generation, okay? Whenever your brain is not feeling playful, do it. Generate 100% happiness. Brain will become free from whatever it is stuck on. See, when there is a problem, the brain is stuck on something, isn't it? So, question for you. Each one of you, when you have a problem, where is your brain stuck on? What are the kind of thoughts that are automatically coming?
Sir, can I?
Yeah, definitely.
The first reaction was not again.
What is that?
When problem comes, the first reaction in the mind was, oh, again, oh, not again.
Not again. And Say more about that not again.
I again a problem come because I am very familiar with this problem.
So it's not like you're very celebrating. Oh wow, another time it's come, right? It's not like that, is it?
Certainly not, sir.
It's more like, oh shoot, problem has come again. Correct? And that puts you in what state? Does it put you in a space of possibility? That's a question for you guys. When your mind says, oh shoot, this problem has come again, does it put you in a state of possibility or no possibility? I think battery's signal is gone. All right.
No possibilities. No possibilities. Yes.
No possibility, right? At the moment you recognize it, what is that one thing you can do? When it gets into that state, what is that one thing that somebody's mind is, please mute your mic.
Sir, we have to mute Mallika.
Muting yourself.
Yes, sir. Now it's free.
All right. So go ahead, Tanmay.
Sir, I think about all the earlier times where things did not work out, and one question that comes to my mind is why only these roadblocks are coming for me. It always happens to me.
Exactly. So when that is exactly what I've been talking about. Correct? So your attention has got fixed on what? Internally complaining about it, feeling upset about it. Is that a possibility state or a no possibility state?
It's a no possibility state.
Exactly. So what are the tools that you have learned here on the EMCE that will get you out of that state? So many tools we have learned, isn't it? Do you recall any of them?
What I recall is, I tell myself all of my life is with peace, joy, and glory. I deserve that.
All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory.
And use the power of generation to kind of get out of the default mode and get into action.
Yeah. And third, put your focus back into
what can be possible.
Yeah. I mean, that's my objective. Okay. If this setback has come, so what? How else can I make it possible? What else is possible now? Should I waste my time dwelling on these kind of thoughts? Beautiful. There's another one also, but we'll remind you later. Yes, Hari.
So earlier, when this kind of when I get stuck or anything, the situation which led to this, that scene will keep coming in front of my eyes. Well, what happened that time? What happened? That used to come repetitive in that moment. That is what we call it as resistance. And then also it will search for who is the person is responsible for this. It'll try to find who's the person made this happen. Because of this, I'm suffering this.
Yeah, it may be sometimes you'll say, I am a fool. I do these stupid things.
It could be that also. Yeah, it should be that also.
Yeah. So, but is this going to be of any use to anyone?
Absolutely.
So what would you do now? Now that you know these tools, where would you put your
possibility? Attention on what else can be done. Like moment if a crisis happened, fine. Then what else is possible? What else can be done now?
Yeah. So another very powerful thing that these enterprising people do is they spend a few moments or maybe more than a few moments, again, visualizing their goal, visualizing their desire, and getting in touch with that feeling that you will have when that desire is fulfilled. See, obstacle is troubling you. Why? Because you feel that it is stopping you from achieving your objective. Correct?
Yeah.
So wasting time in lamenting about it, getting upset about it, they will not do. They will again focus on, okay, that is what I want, right? That is what I desire. What will it feel when my desire is fulfilled? See, putting more empowering thoughts at that moment in your mind will free your mind to look for more possibilities. And that is what enterprising people always do. They don't allow themselves to dwell on all. Look, in our long life, we've had many setbacks and obstacles. Correct? So when a new one comes, it's very easy to go back into the past and say, oh, this has happened so many times. It always happens to me, blah, blah, blah. However, in our long life, we've had many successes also, no? We can always go, if you want to dwell on something, dwell on all your successes and say to yourself, hello, I've been successful so many times. I will be successful this time also. That's my objective. I'm going to achieve it. And then you say, the mind will look for possibility when it feels free and joyous. By doing this, you're freeing your mind, right? You might even say a simple thing like, I am a wonderful, magnificent, extraordinary person, and I deserve to be loved and respected for who I am. You may say an affirmation like, the universe has my back. And as always, this time also, the universe is going to come to my rescue. This is only a momentary setback. One of my gurus used to say, this too will pass. Nothing is permanent. Don't worry about it. This too will pass. I remember that. Many of you, all of you know it, right? This too will pass. I mean, what's the big deal? गिर गया तो क्या हो गया? खड़े हो जाएंगे. Now, some people call it a carefree attitude. I love that attitude. Carefree does not mean that you will not be careful. Carefree, in my opinion, just means that, I do not dwell on obstacles. I put my mind on creating possibilities. And I put all my energy in creating possibilities. And the final rider is, they're very clear. I can develop a habit of always getting upset when setbacks happen. Will that habit help me? It can actually make you sick, you can become ill. Or should I develop the habit that, this is a setback, it will go. What else is possible now? That's the habit. I remember from my landmark days, we used to say every breakdown is a potential breakthrough. We even used to say, if you don't have a breakdown, create one so that you can have a breakthrough. So the third one, which we have covered today, is called developing a possibility search attitude. Developing a habit of looking for possibilities in every situation. Looking for the benefit in every situation. Yeah. And developing practices to deal with no possibility situations. And in the EMC, every day, every second day, we teach you some technique or the other. And for those who don't know, we do it again. For those who forget, we do it again. So all that is available over here. All right. So before we close the session, let's have a healthy dose of happiness. So when we say 1, 2, 3, what are you going to do? 1, 2, 3. And even if you don't feel like it, fake it till you make it. A lot of people tell me, sir, what is there to laugh about? Why should I laugh, sir? I said, don't worry, nothing to laugh about. Just fake it till you make it. And after some time, you start feeling good anyhow. Wow. Okay. Thank you very much for today. And before we close, we will have a lovely shairi from Colonel Saab. Where is Colonel Babu?
I'm here, sir. I'm here. So, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
So, the shairi is तलाश न कर मुझे ए बंदे, तलाश न कर मुझे ए बंदे, जमी और आसमान की गर्दिशों में. Right? I'll say again. तलाश न कर मुझे ए बंदे, जमी और आसमां की गर्दिशों में. अगर तेरे दिल में नहीं हूं, तो कहीं नहीं हूं मैं. So, I say again. तलाश न कर मुझे बंदे, जमी और आसमां की गर्दिशों में. अगर तेरे दिल में नहीं हूं मैं, तो कहीं नहीं हूं मैं.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you very much. And all of you, thank you for being there today. Have a wonderful day. Remember that we have to be possibility seekers. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so
Bye,
much.
sir.